How does ketamine support healing PTSD? I'll try to give you an analogy that I've found is really helpful in explaining this process. Modern Western psychiatric medicine has this tendency to pathologize anxiety and depression. Even the terminology that we use, we're talking about disorders or pathologies, things that are broken. So it's not atypical that patients come to us and they say, I need fixing, and I'm hoping that ketamine will be able to fix me. So in our experience, anxiety and depression, while they are labeled as disorders and pathologies, for the most part, they are symptoms of some form of untreated PTSD that is lurking in the background. Here's the analogy that I'm going to use. Let's say you eat some rotten food and you go to the doctor and you say, I feel really, really nauseous. The doctor can say, let me give you some medicine to suppress the feelings of nausea and see if we can prevent you from throwing up. The other option would be to say, you need to throw up. Clearly, you've ingested something that doesn't sit well. We need to get this out of your body so that the toxins and this foreign object that's making you sick gets out of your system. Now, no one likes throwing up, yet in many cases it is absolutely necessary. So for us, anxiety and depression and OCD and many of these mental health concerns that we run into are very similar to this analogy that I just gave you. There's something going on that needs to be addressed. It is uncomfortable. It can be really scary. So it's very understandable that some physicians will prioritize reducing the discomfort of the anxiety or the depression. Especially developmental trauma has to do with things having gone wrong consistently enough during a really key developmental phase of our nervous system that we are left with the scars many, many years later. So when you come into the clinic to work with ketamine on your depression or your anxiety, really what we're doing is we're addressing your PTSD. We're using ketamine to help you get a different vantage point, a different perspective on your PTSD, as well as to stimulate certain neuroplastic changes so that you can shift your behaviors. That includes your thought patterns, your view of self, your explanatory style of life, all of the things that ultimately contribute to your anxiety or depression, that you can start changing those over time. That's how we address PTSD with ketamine.